Amador, the Juicy Woman. Oh my gosh, are you ready? Strap in because I have something amazing to tell you. It is all just energy, the energy in your body. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about the energy that you have, the energy that you have every day to, go out and work, to spend time with your loved ones, to chop onions, to go on vacation, to start a new project, to write a book. Every single thing is energy. We don't think about this. We don't realize that the amount of time that we spend on something is energy expended that we will never, ever get back. The reason why I'm coming at you with this message is because I want to share with you an incredible tool, an incredible stress relief tool. And the whole purpose is for you to get your energy back. Maybe you're tired, maybe you're frustrated, maybe you've spent years holding onto a grudge or a grief. Maybe you're grieving because someone passed away and you can't seem to get over it. I'm not saying that you should, but what I am saying is at some point, it's going to hit you that we're all mortal. We all have an expiration date. And if you're not busy living, you're busy dying. I have a confession to make. I realize that I have struggled with depression and anxiety for years. And I never actually realized that until not too long ago, when both of my kids left for school, and it was right on the heels of a move, and soon after my cat passed away. One thing after another hit me, and that's when I got a real taste of depression. I've watched my mother struggle with bipolar illness for years, and since I had so many tools as a coach available to me, emotional freedom technique, Z-point process, all of these amazing and wonderful things that I could use to change the way that I think and feel, I kind of thought, oh, well, that's not going to happen to me. That's mom. And dad is in a whole other level of crazy. We're estranged. But same with my brother. I come from a background filled with abuse and dysfunction. And there were real reasons why I could be depressed. And I always thought that I never actually thought about depression. I always thought that my problem was the fact that I was fat, was the fact that I was overweight, chunky, chubby, whatever it is you want to call it. I thought my issue and my fight was with food. And for years, I went the dieting route and I deprived myself, and my weight would go up and then down. I'd lose weight and I'd feel fabulous, and then I'd start binging again. So anyway, that craziness stopped when I was 44. So it went on for almost 34 years, living in constant food fear, feeling like I could never be left alone with an open bag of potato chips, or that I had to finish that 1 pound box of Godiva chocolates that my husband would bring me the night before I did a Weight Watchers weigh-in the next day. Crazy, crazy, crazy! I can't even begin to tell you. But anyway, My struggle with food started to shift and really make a change back in 2013 when I started to learn how to listen to my body to determine what to eat. And yeah, I'm overweight. You can see that. I'm probably about 60, maybe 70 pounds overweight. And the reason is because I have continually gone back to food every time a new piece of crazy hit my life. So when my son and my daughter left and my cat died, I just burrowed in and I just ate ice cream and chips all the time. It was insane. And I was in a depression over that for probably about 2 years. It was really a combination of several things. It was PT and Kara leaving, being estranged from my father, feeling the rejection from him, missing my cat, the fact that my marriage was absolutely falling apart because I was a crazy person and I had pushed everybody away, my friends, my family, my husband. It was really, really bad. So when I got a chance to visit my mother, I've always kind of been, I've considered myself to be the rescuer, the caretaker of the family. The fact that my family is not close with me doesn't change the way that I feel about them. So whenever mom would have an episode, I would run down there and do whatever it is that I could to help her. So back in 2017 or so, when I went down to Florida to take care of my mom because she was having a crisis, I got a chance to see up close what it's like to live from such a diminished mental capacity. I saw my mother acting like a child. That was such a huge wake-up call. Seeing her in that way, in relationship to others at that time, she had a boyfriend, Yale, who is now her husband. He's 89 years old. Good man, but crazy. But anyway, seeing my mother acting like a child, seeing senility and dementia and a little bit of Alzheimer's affecting her scared the crap out of me. I have never been so aware of my mortality as when I saw my mother acting like a baby. When I came away from the trip, after they basically told me to leave because I wasn't needed there, I realized that I had spent most of my life being the rescuer, taking care of grown adults, my mother, my father, my brother, none of whom appreciated or needed me at all. Grandmother too, but I adore her. So I would have gone to the ends of the earth for her. But I realized that I wasted so much time taking care of others, adults, not children. I've taken care of my children. That's a pleasure. But adults. And jumping from one dramatic crisis to another, to another, to attend to and handle and take care of their lives. I would just completely drop everything that I was doing. It didn't matter if it was a work commitment, if it was a personal commitment, it did not matter. I felt that my identity was wrapped up in taking care of my family. On that plane trip home, I realized, whoa, this is too much for me. And seeing my mother as she was a glimpse into my future if I continue along the same trajectory that I am. Eating out of control, having no regard whatsoever for myself, and just dropping my life to serve others. I was a doormat. I allowed myself to be a doormat. So anyway, can you relate to feeling that yearning, that need to take care of others, to worry about others, to think about others, to consume yourself with what's going on with other people's lives, and you don't give a damn for yourself? You lose sleep, you're exhausted, you don't eat, or you overeat, you're snapping at people, you're quick to judge, you're angry, you're jealous, you're frustrated, you're sad. All of that mishmash of emotions is because you are living on the edge of stress. Your body is chronically stressed, which is where I was 2 years ago. And that day after I left, I made a pact to myself. No, a year ago. I made a pact to myself that I was going to get healthy, that I was not going to go down the road that Mom has gone. And I realized that if I didn't change my habits and the way that I eat and to become more healthy, if I didn't change, I was going to go down the same road as her, living with Alzheimer's and dementia and depression and all that. I have never taken any medication, and I don't plan to. Last year, after I saw her, and I had that huge aha that my way of living, which was basically giving my energy out to everybody in terms of taking care of the people in my life. And I don't mean that in terms of taking care of children, but I mean drop everything and run when there's a family crisis. When my father asked me, no, he didn't even ask me to run his business. He told me to run his business. But anyway, when you take time to do anything, whatever it is, I want you to realize that that's time that you are investing in some part of your life. And if you're not getting back a significant return, you might want to rethink that. Now, if you struggle with binging and emotional eating, if you're a dieter, and this is not to, diminish dieting, although I personally don't diet anymore. I stopped 10 years ago. But if you are doing that, and every single day of your life you're thinking about, oh, what am I going to eat? What can I eat? How many points is it? Should I eat that? Oh my God, my thighs are so fat. My stomach is so fat. If you're thinking about all of that, which I did for 34 years of all the years that I was dieting and totally weight obsessed and totally food obsessed, if your everyday thought is rolled up on food and weight and how you look and what people think of you, you're not getting that life back. You're not getting that time back. My point is, your time is so precious. I'm 56, going to be 57 this December. And it's only now that I started to realize, wow, I'm in control of my life. I have choices here. I don't have to continue to do the same things that I used to do because I've done them before, because I've watched other caregivers, like my grandmother, watched her and thought, oh, well, if Nana, drops everything and takes care of everyone, then I should do the same thing. Wrong-o. I want you to realize that you have a choice. And if you're running for the potato chips or you're, double fisting ice cream bars or chocolates or whatever it is, don't shame yourself for overeating. Look at that. You have to realize there's a message in that for you. It's your body that's saying, wait a minute, I can't do this a minute longer. I can't handle whatever stress you're putting in me. I need something to calm my emotions down. That's your body talking. That's your body telling you you can't handle whatever pressure or stress it is that you're facing, whether it's worrying about a child leaving for college or worrying about the welfare of your kids, or if your wife is struggling with alcoholism, or if there's infidelity, or you're still hung up on something that happened 40 or 50 years ago. At some point, you're going to have to realize that you're going to have to let it go. At the very, very least, lighten up. It's like, imagine yourself going through life, and every time life hits you with a curveball and something happens to take you away from the awareness that you are such a precious and beautiful person, think of that as a stone that you've been given by life to carry. And you walk through life. So let's say, you go through some kind of abuse or neglect or hurt when you're a kid. That's a stone. And you feel this enormous sense of being dirty and being unlovable and being shameful. Those are more stones that you're holding. You go through school and you feel like you don't feel like you connect with the others because nobody really understands your pain. That's more stones. As you go through life, you keep on accumulating all of these stones, and you have them on your back, in your backpack. And every single day, you're dragging them from one place to another. There's so much shame that's associated with being overweight or fat in our society, whatever it is. I think that one of the kindest metaphors that I ever learned about was by Doreen Virtue, equating excess weight with pounds of pain. When you think about your body, that has endured so much. Maybe you've gone through a disease. Maybe you are in a state of illness right now. Maybe it was abuse of some sort. Maybe it was a breakup. Whatever it is that you've endured, that food that you're eating, that you're overeating, is not the problem. It's just pointing and it's saying, hey, sweetie, let's look at this. We need to look at this. And it's not a matter of being shameful, and it's not a matter of saying, oh, I'm such a fat effing pig. I have no self-control. No, 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 no. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's got nothing to do with self-control. It's your brain's way of saying, okay, we're about to die. We're about to pull the switch. We know that you feel comforted when you eat. So your brain is screaming, eat, eat, eat. If you have no other way of dealing with your stress, there is nothing else that you can do. It does not matter how hard you try not to think about chocolate cupcakes. If you love chocolate cupcakes and it feels like your life is hitting the skids, you're going to think, I have got to get my hands on some chocolate cupcakes. I'd kill somebody to get chocolate cupcakes, minus vanilla. But I hear you. I see you. I know you're struggling with food. I know it's hard to, stop yourself from eating the candy or having a candy dish at hand or chips or whatever it is. You think it is, but it's really not. Because as I said in the beginning, it's all about energy. When you can take the energy of that anxiety and nervousness that you have around feeling shameful and disgraceful and embarrassed about your body and just disgusted because you can't eat like normal people, when you can take the edge off of that stress and anxiety, you will be amazed at how your response to food will change, how your response to people will change, your feelings about yourself. It's amazing. So anyway, all those feelings that you've been feeling, the shame and the sadness and the anger and the guilt and all of that craziness, all that is your secret power. And what I do is I teach women how to take all of their energy, all of their emotions, and transform them from shame to power, from pity to pride. So if that sounds like fun to you, and you're sick and tired of holding on and dragging the same feelings of shame and sadness and like, why aren't I thinner and what's wrong with me? If you're tired and you're ready to let all of that old emotional baggage go, I invite you to join me. What I do is I teach women how to use emotional freedom technique so the power is in your fingertips. Join me every Thursday at 8 p.m. The call is $50. It's called Lighten Up. And I will show you how to lighten up on yourself, lighten up on your life. You can become the change that you want to see. And I want you to invest in yourself, because I am going to teach you, I'm going to put in your hands a stress relief technique called tapping, emotional freedom technique. It is the most astounding and incredible thing ever invented. There's tons of videos and blog posts where I talk about a lot of abuse in my background and dysfunction in my family. I've endured a lot of sexual abuse. And my very first experience with emotional freedom technique was when I was going through a panic attack. When I was going through my NLP practitioner training back in 2004, when I was getting certified as a coach. And something that somebody had said triggered a memory of the worst incidents and memory that I have of ever experiencing in terms of sexual abuse as a child. 18 years of traditional talk therapy could not change my perspective on that terror. So one of my colleagues noticed that I was starting to panic and I was starting to shake and tremble. And she kind of pulled me out of the room. And I remember her saying, as I was starting to sob, Andrea, I know you don't understand what it is that I do. I'm an emotional freedom technique practitioner. And if you'll allow me to tap on your hands and your forehead, I know that I can help you. I was not in a position to argue. I didn't even have a voice at the time. That day, after about 10 minutes of tapping with her, not only did I get my voice back, but I realized that I absolutely had to forgive and let go of the enormous burden that I was holding, hating the men who had sexually abused me. I realized that forgiving them meant nothing to them. It was my gift to myself. I had to do that. I had to let go because they were living life and they were doing great. I, on the other hand, was hell. I had been living in hell, in depression for years, and thinking that my problem was weight. No, wrong. It was depression and not dealing with my own sexual abuse. And from that time, I started using emotional freedom technique and dealing with all of the limiting beliefs that I had developed as a result of being a sexual abuse survivor. All of the trust issues that I had and still continue to have. EFT is something that I continue to use every single day. I use it myself. I share it with clients. Family's not that interested in it, but that's okay. I have found something that has changed my life, and I am giving it to you in this call. So join me for the Lighten Up call. It's going to be Thursdays at 8 p.m. It is the best money you'll ever spend. All right, have a great day. Bye now.